for a basic income grant have not disappeared. Black Sash handed over a memorandum and a petition to Social Development Minister, that's Lindiwe Zulu. It was presented to her after her budget vote speech on Tuesday, and they want help for all unemployed people in the country between the ages of 18 and 59. So let's find out now from the organization's Hoodah Abrahams-Fayker, who joins me, of course, this morning to take this conversation forward. And Hoodah, thank you so much for your time and good morning to you. If you may, just perhaps let's start here, elaborating on Black Sash's memorandum and petition, which I understand that handover took place at Parliament.
Good morning. We took the opportunity when the Minister of Social Development was doing her budget speech at Parliament to also let government hear voices on the ground. We launched a petition in 2020 in partnership with Amandla.Mobi on basic income support, where we were asking for permanent social assistance for those aged 18 to 59, asking for the COVID grant increases for all social grants to be 250 per month, and also that ensure that provision be made for refugees, permanent residents, asylum seekers, and migrant workers with social permanent. And this would all be working towards a universal basic income grant. Now, it was important for us to let government hear, and the Minister of Social Development hear the voices. And we, together with our community partners, the Athlone District Advice Office, Hope for Destiny, Silaka Ikaya Community Development Project, and the Nyanga Community Development Project, it was important for us to let the minister speak to us and hear what we want. And we were quite encouraged because part of her speech was that she was prioritizing that she would be working together with other mandate government departments to produce South Africa's poverty alleviation strategy, which would include a policy on basic income support for 18 to 59 years. While we are encouraged by the speech, we obviously want to see a commitment on paper, to see secure timeframes for this to happen. So we had the opportunity to present a memorandum to the minister, and she committed that she will respond to the memorandum within the next couple of weeks. And so important, not only in terms of basic income support, but also calling on the Honourable Minister to ensure that they finalise a policy to provide permanent social assistance, to commit to work towards a basic income grant.
Yeah, and do you have confidence that the government, and particularly the minister, will act on the recommendations in the memorandum?
Well, we wait to hear with bated breath on what the response is, but in a follow-up meeting we had with the minister, we were encouraged by the fact that that is on the agenda of the Department of Social Development. And she made an important point that the Taylor Committee many years ago recommended a basic income grant as a solution to the challenges of poverty, unemployment that we face at the moment. And she had said, actually, if that had been introduced as recommended that time, we wouldn't be in the situation that we're in. And we recognize that obviously social grants must be complemented by job creation towards a sustainable economic recovery. But I think it is important that at least it's on the agenda, that they are acknowledging that where they didn't have money to introduce the COVID relief of distress grant when COVID hit us, they managed to make a plan. And so this is an important step towards making a basic income grant happen.
Also, just on the basic income grant, how significant is it, Hoodah, especially at this time where we're seeing high costs of living, interest rate hikes? We've just seen that announcement by the South African Reserve Bank quite recently. And also for the age group 18 to 59, how significant is this request that you're making to the minister?
This is indeed a significant request because I think the minister mentioned that South Africa received awards because of the advanced social assistance framework that South Africa currently has in place. And we acknowledge that. But in terms of the International Committee on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights, they recognize that there is an important gap where the social assistance framework does not make provision for the unemployed to be eligible. eligible. And so we hope that the social relief of distress grant would be the catalyst to provide social assistance. But we must emphasize that there are challenges with access to the social relief of distress grant, and that due consideration must be taken of those challenges so that we can provide access properly to those that are eligible and need the grant. Because unemployment is almost 40% in the country.
Yeah, and also I find it very significant that it's not just Black Sash, adding their voice to this matter. 330,000 signatories across the country, Hoodah, agree with you. And you can imagine these are individuals who are either directly or indirectly affected by unemployment and the high cost of living. These are South Africans who are not saying we'll just wait for someone to come with an intervention. We will add our voice instead and put pressure, if we have to, through this petition to government.
Yes, and that's important, that government needs to hear the voices on the ground. Black Sash is not speaking on behalf of people. We want to create agency for communities and those living in South Africa to speak for themselves. Not only do we have those signatures of individuals, but we have almost 90 organizations that also endorse the petition.
All right, we'll leave it there. And I appreciate you speaking to me about this. Hoodah Abrahams-Fayker, thank you so much, from the Black Sash movement, talking to us this morning about a petition handover and a memorandum handover they had, of course, taken the opportunity to give to Minister Lindiwe Zulu after Parliament. This post her budget vote speech, of course, in Parliament, saying that this basic income grant is quite important and significant, not only for, the fact that most people between 18 and 59 face very high unemployment stats and the impact of that, but also looking at the interest rates hikes and also the cost of living. They do need this basic income grant to assist.